Alright, this is the 2 feet together drill. It's pretty self-explanatory. Watch the video. You start with your feet together and your back on the shoulder. Okay, and then what you're going to do is you're going to step. So that way you can lift the back heel and you can feel the momentum as you hit the tee. Okay, watch. Drop. Notice, he went negative to go positive. He stepped. He dropped the heel. He lifted the back foot, which started the rotation, which means he's throwing his hips. He's still closed. See that? I'll play it for you one more time. Step and hit, all one fluid motion. Alright, pause, rewind, whatever you gotta do. Check it out. That's drill number 1. Okay, listen.
In the lower body, as my stride foot is coming down, and we said we were going a positive forward move. I went from the inside ball of my foot to make my positive forward move to the ball of my front foot. Rotation will begin on my backside, somewhere between my stride foot touching on my ball of foot to when my heel drops to the ground. That's when rotation begins, somewhere in between that point. Rotation will begin, meaning my front heel will come down to the ground, and there is no more forward movement by the front side of the body. My head will now remain still, my front hip and front side are locked into place, and my backside is now pulling hard to my front side. That's the beginning of rotation. It is not my foot that turns the lower part of the body. It is my back hip that will turn the lower part of my body. And it does so by pulling hard against a firm front side that's not moving. So I'm pulling hard against my firm front leg. You notice that when the knees are inside my ankles, that the angle that is created with my front foot and my front leg is what I'm going to be driving against. It's that driving against that's going to help produce some of the torque in our swing. Because as I begin to rotate, as my heel is dropping, and I begin to rotate, my front shoulder is still on the pitcher. Because my hands are still at the launch position. Because I'm coming into connection at this point, my hands have not turned my shoulder yet. So as I begin rotation of my lower body, and my hands haven't cleared my body yet, I feel a stretch across my abdominal muscles. That stretch or separation is like the pulling back of a rubber band. When I pull back that rubber band and then I release the rubber band as I snap the barrel through the strike zone, I get that extra snap. That's going to help me create barrel whip through the zone. Where you won't see that is your gate swinger. Somebody that takes the shoulder and the hip together as they rotate through. When that
Delia, that's what you're doing right now.
one piece, and we lose that barrel whip through the strike zone. So when my foot comes down and I begin rotation, as my hip begins to pull up, the first thing that it'll pull is my heel off the ground. And as it continues to pull forward, it will pull me up onto the toe. But it's not done pulling yet at this point. Oftentimes, my foot will come forward or come off the ground as my hip continues to pull forward through the swing. And that's not something that we teach players. It's a byproduct of using your hips correctly. The back side is non-weight bearing at contact. That means all of my backside energy is going against my firm front side or into my firm front side as I'm making contact. Because of that, that foot will often come off of the ground at contact. You'll see some of the pictures that I'll show you now.
Here we have Albert Pujols at about the point of contact. What I wanted to show you here is that his backside is non-weight bearing. Here in this picture, his back foot is actually off the ground as he is taking his backside energy against his firm front side. So as he gets to the point of contact, that front side is just about locked out. And it's at that point, all of his energy is transferring through the baseball. So his hands are getting up front.
Notice his back.
His body. Notice
that his hands are still closed. Mickey Mantle right here. The Mick.
Mantle's foot is not off the ground, but he is up on the toe. His back hip is pulled, his back foot.
Look at the power V with his hands.
Sliding forward. You can see that dirt coming up up from his toes as it's dragging. He too, again, stay firm front side as he gets through rotation here, will become locked out or pretty close to being locked out. In either case, his knee is inside his ankle as his hands have cleared his body, transferring to the baseball.
To meet the
What I
ball
want to
somewhere up
emphasize
here.
in both of these pictures of Pujols and Mantle